Well, hello, everyone.
Hi, Shadow fans.
This is Tom and Heather from Shadowfields, and this is Monday in the Studio.
Monday in the Studio. Please like and share, subscribe to our channel. Click on that notification here, right there. I'm so tired. So you stay connected with us whenever we go live.
Maybe we look tired. We got in late
Hi,
last
Pat,
night.
Tony, Dave, Becky.
Hi, Pat.
Hey, Steve. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
We're drinking.
But yeah,
What
tonight
do you have?
I have weak lemonade, strawberry lemonade. It's very, very, very weak. It was kind of cloudy.
Mm-hmm. Pat's got a Chardonnay. He's probably drinking it by his pool.
Well,
we would have loved to have come down.
Yeah.
It was not in the proverbial cards. We were so tired. Anyway, we just got back from a quick tour through Michigan and briefly into Indiana. It was a really, really great tour. We met some fantastic people. We were at really fun venues, a couple of private shows, and then a couple of venues that were surprising. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
And it rained, though. There was a rain forecast for every single solitary night.
Yeah, and it held to be true.
It did.
On
even if it said 15%, even if it said 15%, we were like, we don't trust it. We just don't trust it, especially those by the lake. It's like somebody's out there lying.
Yeah.
It's at 15%. It should have said 50%.
Luddington was the wettest.
Yeah.
They were first going to have us inside. Then they said, no, why don't you play outside? And then they said to play underneath this overhang. And then right before we started, they said, we're going to put down these plastic tarp things that come down, like they kind of make a wall, which was probably a good idea because about midway through the show, it turned into thunderstorms, and it was very, very wet.
It wasn't just thunderstorms; it was torrents. Like it was. Yeah. I don't know that I even remember it thundering or lightning. All I remember is that it was just a wash of water, just a complete.
They had like, you know how they do like the sail kind of thing, like a triangular piece kind of swooping kind of as like, I think it's for shade. It lets air through, but it's kind of a little bit of a shade. And those had like filled up with water, and they were just like pouring through then in like whatever the low area was, and it was like a faucet. It was really wet. And that was the wettest, but the night before was wet as well.
Yep.
So when we were unloading in Luddington on Friday night, when we were getting stuff out of the trailer, water was still pouring off the gear from the night before. So it was one of those kind of things.
But we didn't let it get to us. It was fun.
No.
It was fun. At least for those of us who are staying dry.
Yeah.
And not so much fun for those who were not. So Becky's asking, okay, did you guys get a ring light?
Oh, no. Does it seem like we have a ring light? No, we have.
Right now?
We have.
It might be too. Maybe
they're a little bit bright, but.
But don't we look spectacular, Becky?
Actually, we're just kind of pale.
we are pale. Maybe can we tone them down just a touch?
No, I think we're okay for right now.
Yeah, and David's kid got rained out on Friday night.
Oh, that's a bummer. All our shows would have been rained out if people wouldn't have been up for moving things inside.
No, we're pretty grateful that people had their. They're being very flexible with us, I think.
Yeah.
One person is a private show, and it went from being a pool party to in this huge
it was going to be a big
house.
pool party.
Yeah, like 90 people. So Steve says Tom is very hot.
Why, thank you. All right, let's see.
Oh, so now you turn it down. Mm-hmm.
I can't have Steve saying things about me being hot.
There we go. It's still very bright, but it'll do.
It'll have to do right now.
Yeah. So we were, first night was in Grand Rapids. Second night, we were in Ludington. Third night, we were way up near Traverse City. We were in Empire, Michigan. And then we came down to South Bend, where we had a really fun, outdoor show. It didn't rain, but there was threats of it.
Yeah. It was very, very windy. It reminded me of Sandusky. Tony, if you remember Sandusky, where we were getting blown away. It was so windy. We had to put sandbags and everything piled up on the speaker stands to keep them from falling over. It was that kind of thing.
But it was at the Studebaker Mansion. They had opened a Studebaker Brewing Company.
Yeah.
And put it and it's a mansion that's, has multiple different floors where there's certain things. I did. Jimmy and I went on a tour.
I didn't get a tour.
I'm sorry, but it was really fun. And we went up to the ballroom. Now in this mansion, so there were nursing rooms and sitting rooms. I can only imagine that was like the women should go into the nursery with a sitting room. And there was a men's smoking room. There was the master bedroom. There were the guest quarters. There was a butler. There was a room that was the old butler area where the butler obviously was working for the master. And there was a ballroom. But it was just extraordinary.
Did you take any pictures? Will I see those when I start editing it down?
Maybe a few, yeah.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and on the first floor that we walked into, there was a restaurant and a nice, maitre d' area. And what I found out is, though, because of the Historical Society, they cannot touch the wood. If they're going to do anything,
really?
I'm like wondering, why are some things kind of not in place? They have to run everything by the Historical Society.
It was a lot of dark wood.
It was beautiful, thick.
It had a very heavy feeling about the whole place because, with floors that were dark, paneling that was dark.
Mm-hmm. There was inlaid wood designs and that too, and there was another place that happened too. But the big sculptures when you're going up this elegant banister, the stairs. There's like this big, huge wooden head of a lion.
Wow. I didn't see that.
You didn't?
No.
Well, we instead of going upstairs, we went downstairs. But with Jimmy, we went upstairs.
Wow. So that was fun, and
we were outside on a patio.
If they ever tuned in, there was a couple, Maddie and Rachel, who
they were so sweet.
They were so nice, and they were the first people to brave the outdoors to come out and be with us while we played.
It was windy, and at one point, as soon as the sun kind of went down behind the mansion, it got very chilly. Yeah. So surprisingly,
actually, I found it to be very refreshing.
Of course,
we'd been so hot and sweaty and wet from rain all the other nights that I was very happy with a little bit cooler and windy.
Yeah.
But they came out, and I remember the first thing they asked me, they said, "So is this like a wedding reception that we stumbled into?" And I said, "No." I said, "Please stay." I said, "Why?" I said, "Because if you don't stay, this is our rehearsal." And so they came,
and because they came, others came.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's important to be the first, just because someone's going to be the second.
They come out, they sit down by us, and we start talking. And Dan's playing. Dan Ozzio came with us on this tour. We met him in Ludington, and so they sit down, and then other people like come out the doors, like look around. They see somebody out there, then they go, "Oh, maybe we can go out there too." And then it started filling up, and it was a very nice evening.
So our competition, there could have been many, many more people, but our competition was the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra was doing a No, not a Rocky Horror vibe in that place. No. But yeah, our competition was the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra is doing a free concert in the park.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we were kind of like...
There was no competition, really. I mean...
Well, we're not a symphony, but we were more like the Sympathy Orchestra. So. The Shadowfield Sympathy Orchestra. We
had a really great time, though. And just sometimes those intimate shows are some of the best shows.
Yeah.
And we talked to everybody who was there. We did the same thing for the house concert in Empire. I think one of the best things, though, and if anyone's ever near Manistee, it's Manistee, Michigan. We stayed at the Chandelier Inn.
Yeah, it's a B&B.
What a cute place.
What was the lady's name that runs it?
Renee.
Mm-hmm. She was so nice, and especially nice to us considering we were showing up like at, what was it?
Oh, I don't know.
1 o'clock. I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning we were showing up, and it was very late.
And she stayed up, and then the next day there was breakfast.
Yeah.
She made like wheat pancakes, like I think it was oat pancakes with a caramel apple sauce, like it was
thick
all
apples, very good.
Whipped cream.
The best part
berries.
I'm not really a coffee drinker, but first off, good coffee.
Yeah,
but she had
coffee.
Real whipped cream, like that she whipped up.
It's with caramel macchiato in it. That's what it was.
Was that what that was?
Yeah.
Because by the time I put enough of that in, that coffee was really good. It was kind of like
the
a
guys
dessert.
are completely like, that's not even coffee anymore. Yeah, but it was pretty spectacular. Hope you'll put some of those pictures in it in our behind the scenes videos.
As much as I have.
Okay.
Next week we will have a video for the tour,
but not tonight. Tonight we got something else special going on.
Yeah. We have literally hundreds of little clips from that tour. It could be like 30 minutes long, so tune in on time. But tonight is the release of our latest single, which I'm hoping it plays back well. You never quite know when you're dealing with trying to do live streaming and stuff like that, and you don't know how good it's going to come out. But it goes live on YouTube as well at 9:00 tonight.
Right. And well, one thing I don't want to skip though before we do this, let's talk a little bit about what happened in the studio last week. We had practice.
Like
what
week.
happened?
Did something happen last week?
Yes, I mean we finished up.
You tell me. I don't remember.
We finished up Sammy's thing that got off, and we finished that.
Yeah.
Or was that the week before? No, it was not. It was last week. And let's see. And
I think that finished for Monday, though.
We did?
Yeah, I think so.
I think what we did in the studio is we basically practiced, we rehearsed, and got ready for getting ourselves out of the door on Thursday.
Yeah.
And usually we would have somebody in the studio working on some kind of song or whatever. But last week there was just too much stuff going on. So we did a little reprieve. You didn't buy anything, did you?
No, but when we were in Ludington, we got Dan to buy something.
Oh, can I talk a little bit about the Dan dollars?
Yeah.
Now, this might be something that Steve could institute for Becky. You could have some Steve dollars. So Steve dollars would be...
They'd be Becky dollars if they're for her.
Oh, that's right. Becky dollars. So Becky, thank you. So Becky, Steve, what you can do is you can say for her birthday, you are going to give her Becky dollars. Now, those dollars can be used up to a certain amount. Now, she can collect her Becky dollars in over periods of time. Say, for instance, it was $500 equals one Becky dollar. I know that's a lot, but that's possible. And then next year, she doesn't use it. So now she's got $1,000 of Becky dollars that she can use on something that she would really like to buy. Well, Dan Asio,
like microphones.
So Dan Asio was with us, and if those of you know, he's been in here a couple times. We've co-produced his music for him. And he was with us in Ludington after being in a show, and then he did some opening for us. But before that, he wanted the wise experience of you and Gary to check out a guitar.
To go back in time just a little bit, Thursday night he played Ludington at a place we played at
last year, Jamestown. Yeah.
Jamestown Brewing.
Yeah.
And we played there last year. He played there when we were in Grand Rapids. And so when we got up there, he had told us that the night before, which was
he'd gone
Thursday
into a music store.
Yeah, he'd hit every bar and every place up and down the strip in Ludington, and he stumbled into this music store, hopefully not literally, and he played a bunch of guitars, and he found one that he really liked, but he wasn't quite sure, so he asked us all if we would go over and help him make a decision, and we are more than happy to help people spend their money.
Hi, Kimmy. So I think I'm not sure that I've ever seen Dan look that happy. He was a proud papa of this new instrument.
New gear is always nice.
New gear. But I think what was the best part of that is that meant that Tom and the rest of the band didn't need to spend any money, because the Dan dollars that he was given by Sarah, his partner, was they were going to be spent.
Yeah.
So Sarah had given him Dan dollars a while ago, and he was he was very, very happy to spend those.
When we got in there and I saw a wall that had a bunch of Gretsch guitars on it, I instantly was like, oh no, there's one more Gretsch guitar. I already have 3, but there was one more. I was thinking, if somebody has this, a 6228 in Cadillac green, I would just buy it right on the spot. But I was reprieved.
Yeah.
I did not have to spend money. I let Dan spend all the money.
And you coached him like, hey, you could ask for strings. He's like, hey, make sure that you ask for strings.
We looked up the pricing. I checked all the pricing online and stuff like that, and saw this is actually a fairly good deal.
Well, I hope he feels like today when he's home that it was something. And I think that, when you go off and you buy something when you're on vacation or whatever, it seems to hold like a special, it's like a memento kind of.
Yeah.
In this case, it's something that he can come back and he can use.
Yes.
Here. So anyway, that was fun to spend other people's money.
All right.
So we have just a couple minutes left.
Yeah, we need to play our video for you. Okay, so this is a song that basically we wrote it earlier this year, and it's been done for months.
Yes.
But we didn't have a video for it, and we didn't have any ideas for videos. We kept going back and forth, and I had an idea, and then Heather had another idea, like, it'd be easier if we did this, and then like, okay.
It worked out really well.
It's dark and moody.
It's dark and moody.
And that's
like
what
a Rocky Horror vibe.
It's a pretty horribly serious song.
But you know what? We hope you hope you can see and hear some of the messages in it. So.
Yeah. And so this is a song called What Will Be.
What will be? Can it be? Let it be. Never be. What will be? Can it be? Let it be. Never be. I read your letter and it made me cry, so I guess you got your wish. I see that you know all about revenge, best served as a cold dish. If you only knew how much I love you, then things wouldn't be this way. But you listen to a lying tongue, so what more can I say? Oh, I wish it wasn't like this. What will be? Can it be? Let it be. cost nothing to be kind. Now you've turned into someone I don't know, and I wish it wasn't that way. Will you ever choose to turn around? I've got nothing more to say. Oh, I wish it wasn't like
Calling on the phone, trying to reach you, but you're never there. Try to get reaction, just a little compassion, but you never really can. How is it easy for you when it's not so easy for me?
what will be? Can it be? Let it be. Never be. What will be? Can it be? Let it be. Never be. I got your letter. I got your letter. I got your letter. I wish it wasn't. Oh, I wish it wasn't like this.
Whew.
Nice.
Still get emotional every time I hear that song or I watch
I
the
think
video.
those are the best kind of songs, though. You know, ones that you, as a musician, as a songwriter, that you can actually still touches you.
Yeah.
We're going to hear Tears in the Bottle. That still gets me too.
Yeah.
So it's very real.
Similar
It's very
tunes.
real. Doc. He says it's Doc. So
Yeah.
Becky says, what time is that in? Because some of the faces were like, you know,
No, I
is
think
it
time
like time signature?
It was in 4/4, but it has like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3,
It's like a
4,
poe.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, and 1. Yeah, it's a little bit funky, and it's a little, you know, if you think about it, is probably as close to R&B as I've ever written. Really,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
We did some stuff for church before that was kind of like that, like
Yeah.
more R&B, but
yeah.
no, we haven't really done that.
But it's always
kinda
got
like that.
our twist on it. It's got always full of you know, the Gary counter melodies and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and Tony always adds that extra little bit of funk to the bass lines.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not sure where the bridge came in. That was very interesting because we took the exact same thing that I'd written for that.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of interesting.
Oh, you just sang it on the fly,
Mhm.
and then we just reworked the lyrics just a tiny bit, but the
Yeah.
melodies and everything like
Yeah,
that
it
were there
were
from the first night
solid.
we were working on it.
The solid.
And that song I wrote instantly.
Yeah,
That was one
that
of the
was like
ones.
a in the middle of the night kind of thing.
Yeah, actually, no, that
Was
was
it
on our way
morning?
home from work. I left work. I was thinking about things, and you know, I'm driving home and pulling into every parking lot along the way. Like, oh,
Here's my next
I
lyric.
got these next lyrics.
That's verse 1. Stop. Verse
Exactly.
2.
By the time I got home, the whole song was done,
That is really cool.
and I'd have like voice notes. So I go. I could probably find it on my phone going boom 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 dot dot boom 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 dot dot ba da dum ba ba. So, you know, that's how things come together. It's all these little snippets and ideas you have, and you piece them together, and it all comes out like whatever it
Yeah,
is.
it's really amazing that we're still able to write well. We're still doing this co-producing thing with all our friends, so it's kind of fun. And we have other ones that are just sitting there,
we're
just waiting. They're percolating.
thank you,
So we
Brian. I hope you
Hey,
guys like the song.
Brian.
It means a lot to me, and who knows, maybe this will be the one.
Maybe it's
But,
all right. The
you know,
process is fun, is all get out.
And
So
we don't write because we want to become hideously famous or anything like that. Because if we wanted to, we would write, ridiculous
we
pop
could.
music with.
we really could. Sometimes I say to Tom, I think we try too hard because sometimes some of the music that is out there popular, I don't know.
I watch a guy named.
I get really frustrated sometimes, but
Well, this morning on my way to work, I listened to a little video thing from a guy named Rick Beato. I don't know if
Rick Beato.
anybody of you
Yeah.
are familiar with him, but basically, are we stuck with the current trend of music right now?
yeah.
And he talked about it. I could go into it ad nauseum, but I won't. But the basic idea was that today's music, that top of the charts things, is so simplistic that AI has no problem doing better than that.
Sure.
So his thing is that, all right, already many labels are starting to use AI to create new songs. So the quality of songs is actually going to become better because now you're not relying on people with no knowledge of music. Now AI is going to generate these things. So then the only real people that will be left are people that can actually write a song.
Yay.
Well, hopefully.
That's me.
Hopefully it'll be there.
Pat says he knows Rick Beato very well.
Yeah. Very educational.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 4.5 million followers.
Yes.
I got to get hold of Rick and say,
Hey, Rick,
if
I've been
you-
watching you for
I
a
was
long
watching.
time.
So why don't you do something about me? We could instantly become like an overnight success, right?
But you have given him likes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
Well,
only sense.
He doesn't ever
No, I know. He doesn't
go
have
through
to.
that.
Yeah.
I think most people don't really go through Face or YouTube and read the comments because,
Well, sometimes you can turn those babies off.
yeah,
I mean, because
sometimes you don't
got
want to read them
bots.
because you got people like saying bad things about you or something like
But
that.
also
that
the
aren't
bots
true.
take advantage of that,
Oh,
as we know
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
problem for a while with that, but
We had
that's
to
all under
turn
control.
We had to turn the comments off. But anyway,
Yeah.
but that was good. Excellent job. Excellent
Thank
job.
you.
So when will we do the next one?
I don't know. Please share that though.
Yes, please.
If you liked it, it'll be out on YouTube tonight. If you follow us on YouTube, you'll get a notification,
Hmm.
and it'll be out at 9:00 tonight. And just share it with a couple people and say, "Hey, what do you think of this?"
Do you want to talk
And-
about your progressive music?
Oh,
Rocks Records
Yeah,
has got it all done.
yeah. They sent me. If you're on Facebook and you're a friend of mine or anything, you probably saw that I posted something today that they're starting to put out teasers about that anthology that's coming out. They said real actual marketing will start probably next week. So it's exciting, and we'll see what happens. Shadowfields is the thing that I do, but it's nice to see some of the music that I wrote.
Absolutely. Years
and-
ago.
And some of the stuff, that was going to be on the very last album that never got released.
You
It's
did?
kind of fun to finally have at least like this song On a Wire that I
Mhm.
wrote.
It's a very, very good song. Very good song.
It's nobody's ever heard it before
Yeah.
because we never played it out live, and we never wrote it or we never recorded it as a band. We were working it out, but I never had any recordings of it. So I took recordings of it that I recorded after the band broke up, and I used those as the basis.
Hmm.
And
So this is all of Tom's, progressive rock music that he was working on for how many years? Was it 12 years?
12
Yeah.
years.
So it's going to be nice to see the work that you did before. And so I highly recommend we go out there and
Yeah,
when it goes live.
Yeah, we'll give you some links or whatever.
Steve Moroniak says he's got somebody that already wants a set.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun.
It'll be interesting to see how many people from back in the day.
Back in the day.
Well, you know, at that time of my life, you know, we weren't like household names, but in our particular genre, we're fairly well known.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how many people like go, oh, they're back.
Back.
So anyway, it is 8:31, which means we are out of time.
Great to be with you all. Thanks so much for all your support of our crazy adventure in music.
Yes, and we've had a lot of crazy adventures in this last week, and we will have a video about that next week for you. And it was a fun time.
Yeah, and big thanks to Dan Ossio for being with us. He's a very, very fun addition to our tour, and so he made it especially great.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks to everybody. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week.
And this has been Tom and Heather from Shadowfields, and this has been Monday in the Studio.
Monday in the Studio.
Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, and hanging out with us again next week. And maybe next week I'll have something stronger than lemonade.
I think so.
But I think that
cheers to
for
new
tonight,
Shadowfield song.
this is
Good
enough.
night.
All right.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.